Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. And yeah, that didn't really work out well, did it? So yeah, in the kitchen, it's obviously the fall season and the inner basic bitch comes out because I'm making a pumpkin soup, and I love pumpkin soup, and I really enjoy pumpkin beers, even though I'm not going to be reviewing a pumpkin beer today, but yeah, I just go mad for it. You know, like pumpkin chai lattes or whatever from Starbucks, you know, minus the rose gold jewellery and the like pale pink and blue hair. I think I am a basic bitch, but yeah, so I'm not drinking a pumpkin beer, but I'm drinking something a little bit similar, I'd imagine. And I did have this last year, but I can't remember if I reviewed it, so it's going to be a vintage one. But today we're going over to Wychwood, and we're looking at the Dunkelfester, which is clocking in at 4.4%, a disturbingly dark beer, cool artwork, there, as is always the case with Wychwood. So an exceptionally dark malty beer with an eerie red tinge brewed for those with a fetish for rich flavours. Hints of coffee and roasted nuts are haunted by an underlying fruity finish, creating the perfect Halloween treat. Speech impediments aside, this sounds pretty damn good to me, and I'll be uploading this towards Halloween anyway. I've got a couple more beers that I can upload in like a mini, not really a series, and I think Pumpking is going to be one of those where I actually wish that would be a little bit more widely available around this time of year than the Dunkelfester. Because, I don't know, Pumpking is one of those ones where I go back to it whenever I can, even when it's like past Halloween and it's past like even the best before day in the bottles, and you find them in Aldi for like less than 90p a bottle. You know, you're going to lose all those like added flavours, but it's got a really good base beer to it, and it's just really nice. But yeah, I was happy to see this in my local Aldi, and yeah, can't really remember too much. So this uses barley malt, wheat and oats. Nice to see oats being used in the mix. And yeah, it's got all of that in different languages. So yeah, let's get on with it and open it up. Like I said, fantastic artwork. And that is the Wychwood crown. So yeah, without further ado, let's get this beer opened and see what we get. Now, Wychwood will always be a brewery that is close to my heart. They were one of the first breweries that I, really, well, they are the first brewery that got me into this weird and wonderful world. It all started from one of those box of characters that they do, where they used to be like only £6, but now they're like charging £13 for the box, even though you do get a fair few beers on in terms of the variety of beers that they do. And going from that, and then just go to the supermarkets, making the most of like the 3 for £5 or 4 for £6 deals. I'll always be a big supporter of that. I know there are detractors, and I'm saying all this stuff that I've said in every video where it's a supermarket beer, but it's just a great thing for people getting into it, and also for aficionados, because you get some really nice surprises. But beer in a glass then, and yeah, that is pretty damn dark. I don't remember it being that dark. It's not jet black, it's like sort of like a mahogany, I'd say. But you do get like slight ruby tinges coming out at the bottom of the glass and around the sides. But yeah, that looks really quite dense, doesn't it? I don't remember it being this dark. And the beer poured with about 1 finger's worth of a sort of like a beige looking head. But yeah, it certainly looks good indeed, doesn't it? And now that I'm seeing it, yeah, it's clearly not a jet black beer, but it is really dark and intense. Sort of like oaky mahogany sort of look to it. Excuse me. So let's see what we get on the aroma. Big sweet malt character coming up front. Slight hint of vanilla and cinnamon. It's got that like German Dunkel beer sort of aroma to it, which I'm imagining that's what it's somewhat based off. But yeah, those oats are coming through really nice as well. That sort of like oatmeal porridgey sort of aroma. And you know, you'd think that there was something like lactose used in this because it's got this like nice creamy milkiness coming out as well. But yeah, and lovely and nutty, like caramelised nuts, macadamias, that sort of thing. That smells actually really damn nice. It's not the most aromatic or fragrant of beers, but it's like just nice and dense and very dessert-like. So let's give it a taste. Cheers. It's got a medium mouthfeel to it, but it's got like a creamy velvetiness to it as well. Not too rich, not too watery. Just a nice come between of those two sort of mouthfeels. Very nutty. Sort of like roasted nuts. They've not really added much to it. Then you get a very subtle, like dark molasses sweet character coming through as well. It's got a woodiness to it, almost like it's been aged in a barrel. Don't think it has. But it's got like sort of like oakiness to it. Yeah, it's like very slightly sticky, playing into that whole molasses sort of thing. A little bit cakey, like a plain sponge cake. A little bit of a coffee chocolate vibe going off as well, going into that bitterness. And yeah, it's got that like German Dunkel beer flavour to it, which it wasn't one of my favourite sub-styles of the lager in Germany. But still, when you get a nice one, for when it's, you know, it's miserable outside, which for me is nice because I like the rain, I like overcast skies, I like the cold. And if you've ever experienced a full-on German summer, then you will appreciate the weather back in the UK, I can guarantee it. So yeah, it's very fitting for the season. Lovely spicy tones coming through, little bits of ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, that sort of thing. And again, not too rich, not too heavy, quite sessionable, but still robust at the same time. I don't remember it tasting like this. In fact, I can't even remember what I initially thought of this beer. But for £1.29, you can't go wrong. And with Halloween coming up, you know, get yourself a 4-pack of this. That's your Halloween sorted. You know, it's going to get you through the annoyance that is trick-or-treaters, even though that's unfortunately become like a lost thing, I've found, nowadays, with the way society's going. And, you know, well, mind you, it's probably a good thing that we don't have children on the streets now because of the people out there. But it's a shame. But for those young children who are braving it and they're annoying you, get a couple of bottles of this in. Put on your favourite, you know, horror film, Halloween, Friday the 13th, just a cheesy, campy film. Get all your sweets. You're going to have a good time. That's a really, really nice beer. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing amazing, but it's far from dull. And yeah, I will be picking up more of these over the coming weeks because it's just a nice autumnal, sessional, flavourful beer. And yeah, Wychwood, I still really enjoy a lot of the beers that Wychwood do, and I know people have concerns with them in Marston's and that sort of thing, but I think Wychwood are one of the Marston's breweries that they do it right. Whether or not you think like Hobgoblin has changed from 10 years ago and even further, I don't have that reference. I'm just going off the beers as they are now. And I still think they're a good, consistent brewery, and they bring out interesting seasonals like this. So, in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this one a very solid 8 out of 10. Highly recommended if you've not tried it and if you can get hold of it. And yeah, if you want a nice autumnal, roasty, comforting beer for these cold, dreary months, then you can do much worse than that. Anyway, if you have tried it, either this year or previous years, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Have you noticed any changes from batch to batch? What are some of your favourite Wychwood beers or seasonal beers for this time of the year? Give me some horror movie suggestions. Always interested to see what people are doing on Halloween. And yeah, check out Wychwood. Check out my Wychwood playlist. I will put the proper style playlist down below because I don't think it is a German style Dunkel beer. It's just very much reminding me of one with maybe a little bit more of a seasonal spice to it. Thank you guys for watching. Stuff's fallen out of the cupboard, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Now get back in your cupboard and fuck off.